The SEC, let me give you this story, see where you're at with it. So the SEC wants to leave the NCAA. I've actually told them they're going to do this in 28 or something. And they want to create their own rules for their own thing, a super conference with the Big Ten. They would create their own rules, their own NIL, their own basically everything. All right. I feel conflicted on this one, Tyler. I'm curious where you're at. I understand why they want to do it. Listen, first of all, the national championship is not even a national championship for the NCAA. And football is pretty unique. You know, I don't know if people even realize that the NCAA does not have like a national championship. It's like the bowl series or whatever they call it, college football playoff. It's independent already.
It's not like March Madness where the NCAA orchestrates everything.
Correct. Now, the NCAA serves a fine enough purpose for basketball, baseball, softball, track, wrestling, whatever. You know, they're fine. It looks like it's working out for the most part in all those other sports. The only sport that it gets really weird is football because the money is so completely ridiculous, and the SEC and Big Ten, frankly, don't need anybody else. Not really. They don't. They would be fine just on their own. Well, what are we talking about, 25 or 30 teams or so?
Yeah, I mean, the SEC, I'm not even sure the Big Ten has got the wherewithal to pull this off on their own. If they wanted to do it in conjunction with the SEC, they could do that. The SEC is the only conference that's got the prestige, the power, the money to say, we don't need you. And quite frankly, we don't need whatever title you're going to give us. Because that's the only that's really the only tie back in is that you want to be able to say you're national champion. And if you separate, well, now you're the SEC champion. But what you do get when you separate, now we get to make our own rules. Now we get to pay our guys. Now we're going to come up with our own salary cap. We've got our own TV deal,
right? Which
you already do to some degree. But you are in total control of all of that. You want to make the enhanced games? Make the enhanced games. You know, you don't have any need for the NCAA.
There's been speculation that the NFL would expand to Europe and perhaps open up 2 more divisions, add 8 teams, which would give the NFL 40 teams. That seems like a lot to me. And I'm talking about this over like a long period of time, over 15, 20 years perhaps of expansion like that. Do you ever see a need for more than 40 teams in the NFL? And frankly, the NFL at 32 teams is doing just fine, right?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay. Why in the world?
I hope the NFL never goes to Europe.
Okay, fine. Do you hope they expand or not?
That's what I just said.
Okay, so no expansion. We just stay at 32 teams. What reason is there for more than that number? And let's just for fun, expand it to 40 teams in the NCAA. What need is there to have more than 40 teams a year compete for a national championship?
What need?
Yeah. Like if the SEC and Big Ten expanded and added a few more teams,
We're talking specifically football, right?
Yeah, only football. This is only football. Why would they need, if they're probably fine as is, but let's just say Notre Dame come on in, or, you know, give me a Pac-12 school, give me somebody else maybe that they'd want, Clemson in the ACC, you know what I'm saying? Like teams like that. Oh, we want you to. So they expand up to 40. Is there a need for more than 40 teams to compete every year for an NCAA, or not, I'm sorry, a college football national championship?
I mean, not if you got the best of the best. No.
You're certainly going to have it.
Now, I mean, if you got powerhouses that live within the Big 12, that live within, I don't know, the ACC, it gets confusing because you want to be able to say we're the best, and we win. Now, if this does happen, which I've got my doubts if it does, if it does happen, you are just one step closer to literally not even having college athletes.
Right.
I mean,
they'll make their own rules. So why would...
I mean, what is the SEC? What do they really have anything to do with college? You know? I mean,
that's right.
They're just going to be another professional football league. So you've tried the UFL, you've tried the USFL, you've tried all these spring leagues,
which are terrible.
which don't work because you don't have the built-in fan bases.
Right.
You are literally just going to become another professional league.
Why would, in terms of athlete eligibility, why would any of the schools make the kids go to school at all? Like, hey, you want to go to a class or two? It's here. You don't have to. You're a football player, and you're going to be paid, and you're going to represent this school. Well, whether you want to go to school or not, I suppose that's optional. That's probably the first thing they would do. And let's face it, a lot of kids who play college football, they're barely going to school as it is. Good for Travis Hunter for getting his degree and all that. But a lot of kids, man, they're just cruising through whatever they're doing. I doubt Shedeur was going to a whole heck of a lot of classes.
Well, it's a mistake. It is for the far majority of guys. I mean, you're talking about 1% of college football players are going to make it to the next level.
No doubt.
So I hope it doesn't go in that direction.
Okay. This brings up the bigger point. As frustrating as the NCAA could be, is it ultimately better, though? Because, first of all, you keep schools like Colorado or my Syracuse or whatever. I mean, at least we're in the conversation. We're in the realm of possibility.
I do think the fans like underdogs, yes.
Right.
If that's the question, I think it's tough to have a championship without the threat of a true underdog.
There was
without a Cinderella story.
There was something cool about Arizona State last year, right? Playing Texas.
I guess. I don't know, actually.
No?
I don't know. I mean, that was a cute storyline that Boise State got a bye. That was a cute storyline that SMU was back in there.
Yeah.
That was a cute storyline that ASU won the Big 12.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes.
Well, they gave Texas a heck of a run.
Okay, cool.
Could have gone their way.
Cool. It lasted 5 minutes. I mean, all those schools, all those Cinderella stories, all those underdogs, 5 minutes.
All right, what's better? Because CU would not be part of this mix. I don't think. Syracuse wouldn't either. What's better for college football?
What's best for college football is to abandon NIL.
Ooh.
What's best for college football, and I don't mean players don't get paid.
Okay.
I mean players get paid the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean players, every single conference has got their own TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their own salary cap. They've got their own budget. Every school is going to maintain a competitive balance within that own specific conference because there's going to be a salary cap that is unique to only that conference. These players are going to get paid money that is directly from the university, that is a salary that comes with bonuses. When you sign a bonus with a Fortune 500 company and they give you $500,000 because they've been recruiting you for 3 years, well, guess what you don't get to do? You don't get to leave. You don't get to bounce. You don't get to jump ship to the competitor. You've got NDAs. You've got non-competes. You've got money that you got fronted that if you leave goes back to that business. So what's best for NCAA? They need to start controlling the anarchy, which means they've got to abandon NIL. They got to do it the proper way. I don't know that I just answered your question, but if you want to save the NCAA, that's the only way to do it.
Well, what you've done then, because the SEC would obviously never go along with that.
Why not? Because they've got their own salary cap. They've got their own TV deal. They still get to pay their players more money. They're independent. Every conference is independent. Every conference has got their own money. They balance their own books. The NCAA doesn't tell you how much money you get to pay your players.
Mm-hmm.
Your conference does that.
Okay. Sake of argument. Wouldn't you just be creating a situation like Major League Baseball has where you got the haves and the have-nots?
That's what you've already got.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, what stops a school from CU from having a rich alum to throw more NIL money at their kids?
Well, I mean, SMU sort of did it.
Right.
I mean, they sort of got back into the picture.
I mean, I get it. It takes a lot of money, but every school, it's up to them to raise that NIL money.
Okay.
If you're talking about a salary cap, I mean,
then do it.
All right, but you'd have a different salary cap for the Big Ten and the SEC.
I mean, I think if anything, it would do the opposite. It would prevent having the New York Yankees. It would prevent having Alabama. It would prevent having the Georgias because they would have a budget that is unique to their conference that is the same as every other team, including Vanderbilt, including all the other schools that are in that conference. They don't get to spend more money, which I'm kind of anti. I mean, I want players to be able to get paid the most amount of money they possibly can. But if you want to maintain the competitive balance, we all know that salary caps, they are important to maintain competitive balance. So this would do the opposite, actually. It would prevent these schools from just being on top of the world for 10 years.
Well, who's going to make that happen in the NCAA with the SEC? It feels to me like the SEC is just holding everybody hostage. I mean, nobody's going to stop them. And if they get together with the Big Ten, who's going to really stop them? How's the NCAA going to stop them? Now, it does. I don't know if this means this would outlaw them from other NCAA sports. I guess it would. I mean, if you're going to you probably can't just break off just from football.
Well, what I think the NCAA should do, they should do this on their own. They should form their own Super League that we're now going to invite the SEC to. We're going to invite the Big Ten to, and we're going to now have relegation. So we've got the Super League, whatever you want to call it. It's AAA baseball. It's whatever. And then we got AA baseball.
It could
that's
work
going
in college football
with University of Colorado, with ASU, all the other teams that are good.
Yeah,
the respectable programs.
Yeah.
But you got to earn your way into the top tier.
I actually like that. I think we've heard this relegation idea for like baseball, Major League Baseball, other pro sports. It's not going to work. But in college football, it could work. In college football, that actually could work. I actually love that idea. So if you had 40 teams in, the upper level, and then I think the way relegation works, it's like the bottom four, the top four. You have like 4 teams switch in and out every year, that sort of thing. Gives you a shot. Work your way up. Stay on top. Don't get in trouble. Be one of the top 40 teams in the country. You don't really need more than 40 teams, do you? Not really. I doubt it.
No, that's a lot.
That's plenty, right? And then you have everybody underneath. I actually love that idea. But the NCAA is going to you'd have to blow up conferences. So that means you'd just be blowing up conferences for the most part. Rivalries, all that sort of stuff would go out the window.
Well, they're already doing that anyways.
Right.
I mean, teams are bouncing around left and right.
One of these big things, the SEC doesn't want to play 9 conference games. They like playing their 4 non-conference, beating up on people. They're having this big debate because, well, what are we going to do here? Like, we got to play ourselves more? They don't really want to do that. Would that make college football better? Or have we just jumped the shark on college football completely? It's just in this crazy land of, what the hell's going on here?
Well, the current model is just not sustainable. It's not sustainable for a million reasons. It's not sustainable because coaches don't want to stay within it. It's because coaches don't want to deal with NIL. It's not sustainable because players are signing for $3 million and then they get $500,000 and they're like, well, where's the rest of my money? Because I don't have a proper contract. I don't have legal recourse here. Nothing about the current model is sustainable. So I know this. NCAA, you want to survive? It's time to adapt.
Do you think they will?
Yeah.
You do? You really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the NCAA can't get out of their own way. I think the SEC...
Well, then that means SEC will succeed.
I think they will succeed. I think they will. I think them in the Big Ten. It's a shame that it would impact other sports because the other sports work fine under the NCAA thing. But football is Mount Everest. Everybody else is, bottom of the lake. Well, that's what's going on right now, man. College football. I bet you in 5 years, I know what you would prefer, but what do you think it'll look like in 5 years, college football?
I think it's going to look like what I said. I think that it's going to get so confusing if the SEC separates for football and football only. And I know we've got schools already that have got a basketball team that's in a different conference than their football team. But I really do think it's adapt or die. And at this point, NCAA, they've got no choice.